guys, welcome to another episode of Sharing and Drink with Matt. Today I'm talking to Aussie punk band The Limited.
Hello.
Hi, mate.
It looks like we have everybody here. Yeah, cool.
I think that's
Yeah.
everybody.
Fantastic.
Any more?
No, I think that's just the four of us.
Yeah, I've only been at the other two have to speak so I can see them.
We're here.
Hello.
Yep,
Hi.
I got you now. How are you? So, are we ready?
Yep.
All right. First question, as always, is where'd the name come from?
Jordan, you can take that away.
Yeah, I think I'll take that one. Amusingly, it was a name that I'd been kicking around since I was like 16 when I started my first band, where we had like a couple of friends where we kind of jammed out for like one session in my basement. And I just really dug it. It was, like partially a joke about like a self-deprecating joke about having only a limited amount of talent. But it was also like kind of a nod at the idea of like that we have limited time left within
Yep.
which to like do stuff and fix things.
Magic.
So it was that, yeah.
Excellent. One for everyone. What was playing on the stereo when you were growing up?
Ooh.
Luke, you want to take that one first?
What did your parents subject you to as a child?
Oh, subject's a bit of a harsh word, Matty. No, I grew up with a lot of Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Frank Zappa,
Excellent.
and then sort of the old boomer staples of John Mellencamp and Australian Crawl and James Rayner and all that. So it was a really big mix. I mean, my dad was way into music back in the day, so he just ended up listening to a lot of weird shit, and that's where sort of my music taste come from. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went and expanded from there. Like, yeah.
Mine's not too different to that, actually. My dad is a big Led Zeppelin fan, big Beatles fan, a lot of Pink Floyd. I got my music taste from dad for the most part. Like, mom was very the Four Tenors and Ricky Martin kind of stuff, very pop based. Like,
Did she listen to Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, occasionally. That was like too old for her. That was grandma's music, so she didn't listen to Sinatra that much. But she did love the occasional like jazz record and blues record and stuff like that. And it was from her that I got my first Bare Naked Ladies CD at the Canadian band, which was super fun. And I think I got a couple of other records off of her, but I don't remember. Mostly was like dad's sort of very 70s rock. Backman Turner Overdrive, which is the Canadian answer to Creedence Clearwater Revival. So got a bunch of that. Yeah, good old BTO.
Have you actually heard the Aussie band Kathleen Turner Overdrive?
Oh, I have not. No.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Oh, I'll have to check them out.
I'm jealous of you guys for having. I'm jealous of you guys for having so much like music. My parents didn't really listen to anything. I had to discover everything. I got into high school and someone's like, "Oh, have you heard of Nirvana?" I'm like, "What, like the Enlightenment thing?" They're like, "It's a fucking band." Like, what? But then it turns out like, my mom used to listen to Bowie and even went to a Bowie concert. Like, what?
Oh, why was that not playing at home?
Well, I grew up in pubs in Western Sydney, so a lot of Cold Chisel, AC/DC, Status Quo, Susie Quattro, a lot of the old sort of harder rock bands is what I got exposed to a lot of. And on weekends when we were cleaning the house, Mum broke out the disco.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. A bit of Bee Gees happening there.
Yeah, and lots of ABBA.
Lots of ABBA, yeah.
I feel sorry for you, Kitty.
So
I-
not your speed now.
I grew up in the
mean,
70s, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was subjected to a lot of horrible stuff. Yeah.
You
So
well, the 70s would have been right in the thick of it, wouldn't it?
Thick of punk.
yeah, but my mum, she was she was a Rod Stewart, ABBA,
Of course,
racy, all
Rod
that kind
Stewart,
of music.
Of course. God, my
Yeah.
mom was big into Rod Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to listen to that, which was good because it opened up a lot of avenues, which was well done. We got someone else to answer that question, don't we? Or have we all done?
I think we had. I think we
No, I
all.
think that's all
we
four
all
of us.
participated. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So this is, I don't know, this is probably the same question in a different way, but what were your individual influences to get you into wanting to play music?
I'll jump on that one kind of right away, and then everyone else can take it. I think like I think every kid at some point has the dream of being like a rock star. At some point you see like a music video or you go to a concert or something and you go, fuck me, I want to do that. And so I think there was like a part of me that was keen on that. I was a theater kid, so I did a lot of like performance, and like that is harder to get into, to do theater and
for sure.
acting and stuff like that. So when Luke called and was like, hey man, do you want to start a punk band? I was like, yes, absolutely, because that gives you an opportunity to like scream at people about something that you care about, but B, you get to go on stage for 40 minutes and kind of perform and let all of that energy out. And for
definitely.
me, that's where a lot of that comes from. It's just like,
and then we did nothing about that for 6 months until I rang you again. Hey, you want to do a punk band? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Another 6 months passes. We should probably write something, huh?
Yeah, that first year was not a super big success, but we eventually got to a prac room, and by that I mean your living room. I think was like the first prac room until we got a drummer. But yeah, everyone else can take away their bits and pieces there.
Anyone else before I go? Because I'm going to be about 6 hours here. No, cool. So I don't. My influences are a bit of a weird mix. I mean, I don't like. I play in a punk band, but I grew up listening to, the old guard of Kiss, Black Sabbath, stuff like that. Korn, because I was an edgy 2000s millennial, and then I sort of threw all that away and started listening to stuff like Boards of Canada, Aphex Twin, Moby. So, and then it just comes full circle, and I'm in a punk band, and I hardly listen to punk anymore. So, but work that one out. But yeah, I think it's a pretty varied mix for me. But I think the one, I mean, I was always sort of not influenced, but I was always sort of singing along to Alice Cooper and that growing up, and Metallica and what have you, and annoying the parents with the speaker at full ball. But I think the one guitarist that sort of went, I could be a rock star. That looks cool. Tommy Iommi, Ace Frehley, Billy Corgan. So yeah,
definitely.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. No,
I realized I didn't give any influences in my answer. I realized you went into music. I thought, fuck, I didn't even answer that part of the question. Greg Graffin from Bad Religion and Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Those were the two performers that I was like, I want to do and sing that. I want to make that happen.
Yeah, magic. Yeah.
Sorry, Kitty, Landon, you guys.
I always kind of wanted to be like Suzi Quatro, the badass, leather-clad, bass-playing rock chick, which kind of just, set everything into motion for me. I started playing instruments from a really young age, and I've joined my first band when I was about 13 or 14, and we played a bunch of shows at a couple of little festivals around Western Sydney, and
Magic.
like I kind of just jumped in the deep end and was like, yep, I'm a rock star now. Here I go.
Oh, for me, like jumping on first gig that I went to, I think I was like 13, MXPX.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was like
Nice.
shittily mixed at the Roundhouse. And get in, and it's just this wall of noise, just short, fast, loud. Like wow, you can do that. Like you can just be aggressively loud and fast, and people like that. All right, sick. I'm in.
Oh mate, MXPX. I went and saw them at a nightclub on the Gold Coast, the Playroom, and pissed as like I was shit faced, and I jumped up to put my arm around one of the guys up on the stage, and I vomited. As soon as I got up there, I just went, hey.
Nice.
A gig to remember.
It was. And I don't even like the fucking band, so that's will hurt you. Leave my oh, shush, it's all right. It's only the kids.
He just wants to participate.
Yeah, the Chihuahua's a big guard dog. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the
Like
Chihuahua doesn't like
ankles.
MXPX.
Yeah, the Chihuahua doesn't like MXPX. That's right.
Yeah, I think we got one more that hasn't answered.
No, I think we all answered.
No,
I
that's
think
everyone.
we all got in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. So I'm still pissed from last night.
Living the
Went and
dream,
saw the
mate.
Dark Clouds at Diamond Dogs.
Oh yeah.
nice.
How was that?
That was a mad night. It was
Yeah,
like, because
nice.
I'd never seen the Dark Clouds before. I've interviewed Dean and Terry a couple of times, but I'd never seen them live, and finally got to see them. They were great. And he had his daughter. They were the first band, his daughter's band, Dean's daughter's band.
Oh, that's so great.
And they started off with Paranoid. It just fucking Paranoid, man. That was they mainly played covers, but like, give them a
Still,
break.
though,
They're only
that's rad as
17,
hell.
18. But fucking, they kicked ass, man. It was
That's
terrific.
awesome.
Diamond Dogs is great, like venue wise, because they just did a refurb. Like we played a gig, they were still like hammering the bits,
Hammering in the
in, like loading in, like hanging up the sound. They're like, we've never played it before. Like we don't know what these speakers sound like, but fingers crossed. And it was it's great, great venue.
The mix was pretty good too. Like it was the feedback speakers were pretty good. Like I had the monitors, were good. Like I enjoyed that venue. That was fun to play at.
Yeah, the guy, was that when I saw you?
Probably, yeah. When we played the big the big game, it was like 8 bands or something for the the anti-racist thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And oh fuck, I hate people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey people, Top No Volts, Antichrist, None for One.
Yeah.
Was,
And
it was a hell of a
everyone
night.
was, I hate politicians. I hate fucking, this one's for Pell, and like, oh my God.
It was definitely our people,
Yeah. It was like a rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the biggest difference in being in the punk scene. Like, people actually give a shit.
Yeah.
Because when we were first starting out, we were like the only punk band in a slew of metal bands, and they were just like, yeah, partying, drinking, well, and then we got hooked up with Sean St. Leon from the Owen Guns, and now we're doing all these punk gigs. It's like, holy shit, people actually care about things, not just get drunk. It's like, what is this?
It's really nice to be in like a pool of people who kind of give a shit and stand on the same side of the fence that you stand on. And like singing about the same things in a different way, and they're all mad about the same shit and have like the same ideas about how to fix it. And so like you kind of get energized by that to like talk about it more, and
like when punk is the only genre that the first band stays till the last band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like metal, pop and all that. The band finishes, they pack up, they fuck off. you know, which is, I think, bad band
Yeah.
etiquette. To me, that's
Yeah,
just
bad
putrid.
form.
For sure.
But punk, the first band will be watching the last band. I think that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also cool. Like we try and do that as well, but I guess because we're just so ingrained in that punk, we just like haven't thought of it as being a punk thing. It's just what
Yeah,
everyone does. It's like
that's what you
just-
should do,
You
right?
want to
Like, yeah.
stay for the bands. They're great. It's like cool. Let's do this.
You're having a fun time. You want to see the good music. You stay until
Exactly,
like the headliners, you know? It's
Yeah.
it's a hell of a time.
So talking about genres, what, and you can say punk, I guess, but what is your favorite genre?
It is punk. Like, yeah, like I've been listening to it since I was like probably like 14 or 15. I mean, look, I like a bunch of other shit. Like I love swing music as well. Like I think swing music is fantastic. I love blues, good blues. I'll listen to like I love like good folk and even like good country western, not stadium country. I don't like stadium country, but I like a proper country western band. They're can be quite fun, like generic rock and roll. Like I'll kind of listen to whatever as long as it's good.
I mean, Jordan, you could just say Weird Al, and that would
Weird
sum
Al.
it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I have a Weird Al taste of music. It's very accurate. He was the first concert I ever went to was Weird Al.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Weird Al in oh god, I want to say 2002 or 3. I think Landon was at the same show. We just didn't know each other at the time.
Wow.
Potentially, but yeah, back in 03, I think, and that was like my first big concert that I went to with two friends from school, and I was like, it's a show to go and see Weird Al. So that was super exciting.
Oh, it'd be an experience for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. What about you guys? Sorry, I've talked long enough.
Favorite genre? That's a hard one because I cop out answer, but I listen to everything. Yeah, like including rap and country. So you can't, so you can't even pick me on that. But
So what you're saying is that you have no taste. You'll listen to anything.
Listen to it all.
You already know I have no taste, mate. But I think the genres that I sort of circulate around is like your IDM, your 90s alternative, metal, and then like a little bit of punk interspersed because I should probably listen to punk if I'm in a punk band.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. But generally a bit of everything.
Yeah. Well, there is in every genre there is a gem. There is a song that like I hate R&B, but there's songs that I would listen to and thoroughly enjoy. I think
absolutely.
What the fuck are you doing? Sorry, man. The dog's
being a chihuahua.
Yeah. She started playing with my crutch. It was getting uncomfortable.
It's like, all right, shit. Like,
yeah. Like I said, there's a genre in every a gem in every genre. Like I hate rap, but like Machine Gun Kelly, I dig about 4 of his songs. I
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, good is good.
Good is good.
Even if you don't like something, if it's the best version of it, good is good.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you? I guess Landon, you were just talking. What's your favorite genre, bud?
Oh man, I have insane genre whiplash. Like if you've heard any like playlists that I make, it's just like it will go back and forth so quickly, and you'll be listening to like Led Zeppelin and then sure some Tupac and then Dolly Parton. Why not? It's just like very like mood based. It's more like, oh, I have a playlist that's just called Get Angry.
Get Angry.
Like punk metal, but like it's more. I go for more of that vibe based. Just
Yeah, nice.
Excellent.
And Kitty, you want to take us away with yours?
I'm a metalhead. I listen to probably the loudest and angriest sounding music of anyone else in the band.
Probably true.
And have for a very, very long time. This is the first punk band I've been in because I spent many years playing in thrash metal and death metal bands. So trying to slow it down and play with a bunch of punks is like, oh, okay. I play this at half the time I'm used to. Cool, let's go.
We're only
like
playing at
consider this
300
as
BPM.
Slowing it down. Yeah, 300
Yeah, only 300 BPM. Yeah.
Kitty, have you heard of Engraved?
I haven't. I don't think so.
Check
Anyway,
these guys out, man. I interviewed them a couple of months back, and they just put out a new album. But check them out. They're like these guys. I think the lead singer's from Costa Rica. Like they're
nice.
a Sydney band.
Yeah.
I think the lead singer's Costa Rica. I think there's a Lebanese bloke in. I don't know, but look, they are fucking fantastic. And I hate metal. I really. It's the music I listen to if I just hate metal. I can't.
Just canceling out so many genres.
What's your favorite genre? What do you get into?
Yeah.
Aussie rock.
Aussie rock.
Yeah. Like I saw AC/DC when I was 7. They played on a raft. Bon Scott. They played on a raft on Sydney Harbour, and
that would have been
yeah.
dope.
It was a family fun day, and everyone was sitting there at Circular Quay before it was Circular Quay, and everyone had their little blankets on the ground sitting there, and it was Ted Murray Gang, John Paul Young. AC/DC were the last band. I can't remember, but yeah, that was the first gig because my mum loved music and my dad was a bad alcoholic. So yeah, we're gonna go listen to some music. Dad wants to get pissed. Fucking yeah, like that was the first ever band I saw was Bon Scott. But yeah, that's my favorite genre. Is Aussie rock, like
hard
Divine.
not to like a bit of Akadaka, to be honest. It's hard not to get behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my first bands was like we're basically just doing AC/DC, Midnight Oil, In Excess, that and like
Excellent.
shit ton of Credence.
Chuck a bit of Credence in there, yeah.
Always,
what could go wrong?
always.
So we done that question, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the genre that you do not like at all?
There's been very few instances of gangster rap that I have enjoyed. I think it's very difficult. There are some artists or songs where I'll be like, yeah, like I can get behind this, but it is generally a genre that I don't dig. I want to. I think there's a lot. I've tried multiple times over the years to like, no, I'm gonna find artists of that genre that I like because I want to like everything. I want to like all the genres, and it's just been the least accessible to me personally. So yeah, that's one that I just have trouble getting behind. But if anyone who's watching this has any recommendations, put them in the comments. I'm gonna listen to them. I'm gonna give it a shot. Whatever you put in the comments, I'm gonna listen.
You might still hate it, but hey, you'll listen.
Might still hate it, but I'll give it a go.
I don't know if this counts as a genre, but whistling in music. It's like
yeah,
it's just like
that's
into
fair.
Like hate center of your brain. Like, no, shut up.
No effects do a lot of whistling.
They do some whistling. They do more trumpet than they do whistling. Though.
Yeah. El Jefe, he just like if he hasn't got a trumpet with him, he'll just whistle it.
El Jefe gets a pass.
El Jefe gets a pass. What about you guys?
But like, Kitty, what about you? I mean, like, you love metal so much. What do you not like?
What do you hate? Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's a lot I don't like, but things that particularly grind my gears are like the shoegaze indie pop stuff that just it puts me to sleep. I can't stand it, and unfortunately it's really popular at the moment. Or like the 90s house,
like a musical
that was
Xanax.
just this repetitive
Do you want it?
beat.
Yeah,
Awful.
90s house. Yeah, I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
And can you, Kitty, can you give us a example of what bands you're talking about? Just a band there, so I can get the idea, because I don't.
I don't try to retain that sort of information. So I work in music for like as my day job, and so I get a lot of links to Spotify and YouTube for all these bands that people want to find stuff that sounds like, or write stuff that sounds like, and I don't, most of the stuff I don't personally like, so I try not to retain the information. I'm like, oh yeah, this is more crap that I can't stand. Fall down the rabbit hole for the duration of my job, and then I'll drop it and move on.
You immediately like burn that part of your brain out when you
Yeah.
finish with it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm done. That's
I don't
finished. I
wanna
don't have
hold
to
on
think
to
about it.
Yeah.
What one?
Fair enough.
What about you, Luke?
What one?
Ooh, that's a tough one for me because like I'll appreciate most genres.
Yeah,
I
you'll
think,
vibe anything. Yeah.
again, we were talking about genre whiplash before. Like, my playlist is just as bad as Landon's. We'll go from, indie pop to Fear Factory or something like that. But I think,
Dankmas.
hey, you loved it, admit it. But I think, I think much like Jordan, I think a lot of the mid 2000s gangster rap, like your 50 Cent and stuff like that, I just really couldn't vibe with.
Extension and all that.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah,
Idiots, mate. It's all like showing off their gold and how much money they got, kind of shit. And it's like, fuck off.
yeah. I kind of appreciate that in a way, because it's like, well, they started out from nothing and now they're huge rap stars. But at the same time, it's like, come on, make good music at least.
I think there's
exactly.
content, that's sort of like, man, I don't vibe with any of this.
A fit, like, again, Stadium Country, I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sorry,
I
King
agree
Urban.
with the Stadium.
I can't get behind the key.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a tough question for me because
Yeah.
A lot of genres. There's at least one artist I'll happily listen to.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's a
Yeah.
tough question. It's a tough question for Luke as well, because Luke, correct me if I'm wrong, but the worse the song is, the more you like it.
Only when other people are in the car and we're driving for 5 hours to somewhere like, I don't know, Bellingen.
like about 30, 35, even 40 years ago, I saw this band called the Cockroaches. And
Yes.
I don't know if you ever heard of them. And it was like, it was boppy, it sounded good. And then 30 years later, I'm taking my kids to see them because they're called the Wiggles.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and it was like, well, this was like,
That would have been kind of rad though, to like see
It
them and then
was,
be
it
like,
was.
they immediately become like, no, we're gonna do kid rock, so that
Yeah.
way we'd like that, because that's good bank doing like kids music.
yeah.
I like the progression of the name. It's like it starts off with the cockroach, and then they just like spray it with the bug spray, and now it's
Now
the Wiggles.
Wiggles.
Ah, well
Look at
done.
you. You're fucking clever. You can see he's the
Best
jokester in the
statement of the
band.
night. Oh, day.
Of the
Yeah.
day, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
excellent. So have we all done that one?
Yep.
think so, yeah.
All right. What's your favorite venue to play at?
One we've actually played at or dream venue?
Both, whatever.
Oh God, that's tough.
I feel like I'll start
yeah, you
because
go.
my bar
You
is
go.
very, very low. Anywhere. Some of the best gigs I've played have just been street side. Like
Yeah.
just set up this, lo-fi out in, inner west, some
Yeah.
random graffiti, crappy, overgrown street that's just like,
Yeah.
rock out there. That's the top
Fucking
venue.
Yep.
I think like in terms of places we've played, for me, it's either Diamond Dogs or Dicey's. Like I really enjoyed both of those places to play at. The stage was like
And I've
big
seen
enough.
you at both.
And you saw us at both. There you go.
Hey,
It was big enough for us to like move around on, but also close enough that we could like get kind of like intimate with the crowd. Like you could really kind of
Yeah.
see everybody. And so I really enjoyed that. Dream venue would be like the Metro or the Horton. I think like that would be the like two places I'd be like, one day I'd like to, especially the Metro for me. There's something very like big but still intimate about the Metro.
Yep.
I saw Flogging
Well,
Molly and
that's
Billy
not
Talent there, I
far.
think.
That's not far to reach.
I hope not. The trouble would be filling the Metro. The Metro's still bigger than like pubs that we've played, but I think it would. It's a reachable goal compared to the
Yes.
Horton, which is like that's quite a lofty one.
I'm
but
surprised your dream venue, Jordan, isn't just Greg Graffin's house.
Greg Graffin's house. Yeah, no, that would be ideal. If he invited us to do like his house party, I would think I would die there. That would be it. I'd never leave. But that would be amazing. What about you, Kitty?
That just went over my head, but you guys know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
Greg Graffin, the
Oh,
singer from Bad Religion. That would be the dream.
Oh,
venue.
yeah. Oh,
Sang
for
in his
sure.
place.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the name wrong. Yeah. Did you see what NoFX did when the COVID hit and everyone was in lockdown? And he
No.
invited about 70, 80 people, most of them in bands, to play in his backyard.
The streams. Yeah, he did like the
Oh,
live
that
stream
would be
thing.
excellent.
I remember that. Yeah.
Weekend of Fatties or something. It was fucking
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Bad Religion, I think last year, the year before, did
Yep.
the Decades performances where they did like
Yep.
4 streaming performances of just doing songs from the decades that they've been a band, which is very, very cool.
Yeah. And Dropkick Murphys, they did a online gig because
Yeah.
everyone was in lockdown, and they
Yeah,
did it.
they did a whole bunch of those, I think.
Yeah, fucking know.
And the guy from AJJ, who used formerly known as Andrew Jackson Jihad, he did an acoustic set every I think it was every week. For a while it was every night, but then he started doing them every week from his home like office. He was just like
Fucking
live
nice.
streaming on YouTube or on Instagram, just like, hey everyone, this is fucked, so I'm just gonna play you 12 tunes.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was a really, really
How
cool way of like
passionate.
connecting. Yeah,
That's passionate, man.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Dropkick Murphys would be so much fun to play with. I reckon their
Oh, God, yeah.
crowds would go absolutely crazy.
Absolutely
fucking-
insane.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
are. They're a
all
great
wild.
live band to see. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Kitty? What about venue? Fave venue?
Out of the current venues that we've played, I would probably also have to say like Diamond Dogs was probably my favorite.
That comes up a
Out
lot.
of out of all of the venues I've ever played, the old Valve at Tempe was incredible, and I will forever be sad that that is gone. Yeah,
So we played at
currently
the
Diamond
Valve.
Dogs.
We played at the Valve, the one that was under
At the
that
Adrian
pub.
Court.
The Adrian
Adrian
Court,
Court.
that's
Basement
it.
at the Adrian Court, yeah.
That was-
when it was
had
out at
nothing
Tempe.
had nothing on Tempe. Tempe
Wow.
was like crowbar.
Oh yeah, and it was
Wow.
great because you walk up the street, you get one of the like Cafe de Wheels like hot
Yes,
dogs.
Yeah,
Harry's
yeah.
was next door. Harry's
Nice.
was next door. It was
Oh, that would
brilliant.
have been
And there was
sick.
like a barbecue pit out the back, and we do like Australia Day festivals back long many years ago. I would never do that now, but they would be, there was like a little community of metal bands that would do like big festival days, and we'd have the barbecue out the back. We'd all bring stuff and grill for each other, and you know, later at night when we weren't barbecuing anymore, duck next door to Harry's. 20 of our bands would play all day. It was just brilliant. It was
So what I'm
such a great
hearing
spot.
is we need to get a hot dog cart for our future gigs. We need a hot dog and pie cart, a guy to follow us around, and we'll put his kids through college by just having this little.
Do we
hot dog
do we
great
have that in the
club are
band
doing
funds,
that.
Jordan? Like,
Nice.
The
What was
great
that?
Limited
club are
edition,
having,
limited
like, food
hot
trucks.
dogs.
Limited edition, limited hot dogs.
oh,
They're in the
do
shape
we
of
have
the
that in the
fish.
band funds?
Yeah, well, hold on. I'll
Surely.
make a note to start saving for that specific thing. It's like hot dog man.
Now you got to write a song about that.
The hot dog
Done.
man. Yeah.
Done.
Right,
No,
that'd be a
Just
classic.
quickly, favorite venue for me, I think. Out of all, I want to say the Great Club because a friend of mine owns it, but that's me being biased.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Dicey's or Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I think
agree.
out of-
Fucking great place because it's so
Hard to beat,
intimate.
man.
Yeah, out of, I guess the Factory. I mean, the Great Club and the Factory is sort of bucket list ones for me. Always wanted to play the Factory. Always wanted to play a venue that was in Marrickville called the News Agency
Mhm.
ages ago.
Yep.
And they closed down, and the same owner went and started the Great Club. Anyway, so they're sort of my two bucket list ones that we ticked off.
Yeah,
But I think as far as the best venue we've played at, or at least my favorite, I think Diamond or Dicey's.
Yeah.
I also
Great
think we're like
venue.
one of our best shows. Like there was like the crowd gave a shit like in a big way. Like when we've gone out of Sydney and played shows, especially down in the Gong and like up in Woy Woy, the crowd who shows up like are super energetic about being there. Which is a very different experience to when you're doing Sydney, like downtown Sydney. There's a lot of like either people don't show, or like the people that are there like are just sort of, you know, the very like stand and watch, which is a fine way to ingest music. I'm not going to shit on anybody doing that, but it was just a really different feel when we went to those places, and the people were just like, what's happening? A gig? We're there. Like that was really kind of the feeling, and it was really nice.
Well, I'll skip the next question for a sec because of what you were just talking about. Have you ever been put on a bill that you just had no right to be on that bill? You know, like the Sex Pistols played in Texas in front of a bunch of cowboys.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a bill where like?
I almost want to say every gig up until we met up with Sean, because we were the only punk band on a metal bill, and the audience who was coming to see those bands, we played with Reaver, Mendoza, I don't, a couple of others whose names escape me, but we were not what they wanted. They were not our audience, and like they had a nice time because we kind of know how to talk to people and stuff and like get people excited, but it was very much like they're not here for us. This is a very weird genre clash for the audience, because we're not delivering the thing. Although, like, again, we're energetic and we scream and we play fast, loud, and angry kind of thing. It's still very different going from like some boppy punk songs with some political punk stuff to going to like straight in hard metal scream stuff. That's like we probably don't fit this bill particularly, but we needed shows. And Luke was friends with the guy from Mendoza, and so he was very kind enough to put us on bills.
Magic.
So I think that.
I-
What about you guys? What do you think about that?
I'd say I don't know. There's not really, even when we were the only punk band at a metal show. I don't think there's any that were that particularly like, well, wasn't that bad of a weird mix.
No.
I'd say maybe the show we played with the Dead Set and Trauma Saw were a bit. How's it going? Because that was,
and Evil Love Mule as well. I think was that.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
'cause
was a
it was
bit of a
very
weird mix.
genre back
Yeah.
and forth. Yeah.
And yeah,
But even then, it was okay, I guess.
even then it was fine.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any that were really, we have no real business being there. So yeah,
Fair enough.
Landon Kitty,
I'd say
any feelings on
I'd say
that?
the show that we played in Bellingen was a bit of a weird mix because we were the only heavy band there.
We were
But,
the only band there, yeah. but we love the Hot Mess. Playing with the Hot Mess was always fun.
Oh, it was a good gig.
so,
It was a
yeah.
good gig, and I was happy we did
I
it.
think
but
they were,
also-
when I saw you at Dicey's, you were playing with them.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
With the Hot Mess, yeah, they were very fun.
That was
Kitty
a great
Landon.
night.
I don't know. I
We've
think I
still
have
got one more,
really enjoyed
but-
being the only punk band on a metal lineup was just wild. A lot of metalheads don't really get behind punk. They're sort of just like, and
Yeah.
watching a bunch of punks rock up to see us open the gig and then have the room empty and then fill up with metalheads for the rest. It was just like this changeover in crowd where the
Yeah.
punks would come and watch the punk band, and they were mostly like people we knew who would then leave altogether because they weren't into metal, and then all the metalheads would arrive having skipped the first band being punks that they don't like
Yeah.
to watch the metal, and it was just, it blew my
It
mind.
was like shift change. It was like a shift
Yeah.
change at a factory. like everyone's kind of clocking in and clocking out. They're just like, "How's it going?" Just like kind of tipping their cap to the people. It's like, "Have a good night, yeah, mate. You too." Like it was weird. Yeah.
Like, look, I don't know. I really have no idea what genre the Red Hot Chili Peppers are in, but them with fucking they just played with him. Fuck, what's his name?
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Like that, whoever promoted that gig he was brainy, man.
Man, I got one for you. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
I just saw Bad Religion and Social Distortion at
Yes.
the Hordern, which was
Yeah.
unreal. But that opening guy, it was like I can't even describe it. It was like white guy reggae hip hop singing about weed, and it could not have been worse. Like, I'm okay for genre clash occasionally because, like, whatever, if he's playing good music, I'll rock to it. I don't care. But he also sucked. So it was like a really like weird. Like, how did you get the fucking gig, man? Like,
Right.
you're not any good. You don't match the genre. You don't. I don't know. It just felt so fucking weird. So I felt whoever matched up Post Malone and the Chili Peppers probably was the same dude who was like, "Get this guy. He'll do great." As an opener for a bunch of punks. Yeah, smooth transition, bro. Like,
Hey. and that went down well.
yeah, you could tell the vibe of the room was very much, "Please leave." Like that.
Yeah.
There was a
I
couple
wonder if
of
that was
woos
like-
in there, but
I wonder if it was supposed to be another band and then they pulled out and then they're like, "Oh crap, who's left?"
I had a
Yeah,
friend
Matt-
suggest that it was like a roster that, like, oh, he hasn't had the opening slot for an international act. You gotta take this guy. Unfortunately, sorry, Luke. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I no, it's gone. But apparently Post Malone and Chili's weren't that bad of a mix.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it was
Because
great.
My housemate
Because
went to
you
that
had-
gig, but yeah.
Fascinating.
My producer of this show, he went to the Melbourne one, and he
Yeah,
said that it was done that well that you had the young people that were there for Post Malone,
for sure.
and the older people that were there
For the Chili's.
for the Chili Peppers. And then you got the young people going, whoa, I love this Chili Pepper shit. And you had the older people going, well, fuck, this guy's doing.
Oh, this guy's
you know,
actually okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually kind of had that vibe. I went to see the Chili Peppers, I want to say 2 years ago, with my wife and her mom. We got the tickets for her mom as a birthday present because her mom is really into the Chili's. And the opening act was Parliament Funkadelic, which was unbelievably good. And I was like, how are you opening for the Chili's? Like, he's so good. It was such a fun show. And I was like, I want to see more of that. And another hour of Parliament Funkadelic, please.
Wow.
That was unbelievable. So there was a lot of people in that room who got exposed to Parliament Funkadelic, which is super, super good.
I must admit,
like
I've seen the Chili Peppers 15 times, but I've only seen them in a festival situation.
Right.
I've never seen them just as the Chili Peppers. But yeah, that will happen one day. I've still got another 10 years to live.
Like sometimes these weird combos just work really well, you know? Like
Yes.
was it like 9 Inch Nails and Bowie playing
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I mean, as the resident 9 Inch Nails fan, I would just want to say that makes sense because they influenced each other. But anyway.
Yes, they did. Well, it was the whole thing where like he played, I think Bowie played through his like weird soundscape record. Like that was the thing.
Yes.
He's like, I want to
Yes.
just play this
Yeah.
thing. Thank you all for coming and for listening to this. And then he like went away. And it was just like, yeah, you're right. Like sometimes genre mashing is good, especially if they just
definitely.
release something that kind of flows together, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I like this question because it could stop you from getting gigs.
Oh no.
What's the worst venue that you've ever played at?
Oh, I have an answer immediately.
Oh,
I think this is going to be fairly unanimous.
I feel like this is going to be a consensus, except that Landon wasn't with us for this gig. Gonna have to say, like, do you guys want to say it on 3? 1, 2, 3. Tattersall.
No
Yeah.
good, eh?
Tattersall's in Penrith. No, that was not a winner. The soundo didn't like us. The mix wasn't good. It was just not a fun venue to play at.
it's awful.
So that was before I joined. When did that happen?
That was our first.
That was our first gig.
That was our first ever gig, and it was with Mendoza and some other band whose name currently escapes me. But it was our first ever show, and we were fine. We weren't great, but that was not the venue for us.
The venue itself was fine. I think we just have first gig, bad juju.
The sounder was a dick, and like,
yeah, but that's not the venue's fault. I mean, it is.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's not totally their fault, but I don't know. But...
Can I tell the Tattersall story, please?
Yeah. Do it.
Yes.
Do it. You tell it.
Yeah. So
there's a whole story.
Yeah.
It's a small story. So we originally had this song called Parking Lot Macca's Fight that me and Jordan wrote just as a laugh, and it was about having a biff at Macca's. So we played that. That's our first song we played because it was the hardest one we played. And we went, we dedicate this to the people of Penrith. We play the song. The soundo, when we finish, the soundo comes over the mic and says, "That's the worst fucking song I've ever heard."
And he was at least 3 or 4 beers in at that stage, so it was like getting sloppy. Maybe more than that, maybe 6 or 7, because he was getting sloppy with the mix. The mic was feedbacking the entire show, and then he came on stage at one point and like spilled beer around everything, and I was like, oh fuck! Thank God we're getting our shit off the stage.
Yeah, my paddleboard still smells of beer, I think.
Yeah. But Landon, in your exotic history with this band or others, what's the worst venue?
I don't know. I like venues as just like it's kind of hard to hear the mix when you're on the drums. So the worst situation is just bit like this has happened on and off at like random ones, and it's just like playing where I can hear literally no one else. And that's happened at like I was doing one of the small rooms in the factory, like not the main one, but like the other one, and it was just like could hear literally nothing. So I'm just like, hey, are you guys playing? Are we good?
That's never fun. Yeah.
No, not good at all. Here's a good one. I like this question because I fucking love this question. And it's for each of you. You've got the opportunity, 5 bands, to make a bill, 5 bands. And they don't have to be alive. They don't have to be current. But you've got the opportunity to put 5 bands together. Who would they be?
To like go and see like the best concert ever sort of thing?
Well, you get to put it together. It's
Yeah.
You've been given the job to set this bill up.
Oh God. I mean, I have top answers already. I dip like top of the bill, Bad Religion. There's like no question for me.
Didn't see
And then
that
I
one
would
coming.
you didn't see that coming. And then the OG lineup of the Ramones. I'd love to have seen the Ramones when Johnny and Joey were alive. Well, and Dee Dee, I think. I don't think Dee Dee's alive either. I think that so the original lineup of the Ramones would be fucking amazing. I'd love to have seen the Clash together. Like that would be unreal. And then I would throw in Billy Talent probably on that same bill. I'm just looking at my record collection. I'm just like, oh, and weirdly, I think I would throw in the Lawrence Arms. I think that would be like the opening,
Nice.
just like a nice weird little mix of bands that like mean a lot to me, but also are bands that like some of which I've seen live and some that I will never get the opportunity because the members are dead, unfortunately. So I think that would be my 5. Yeah.
Yep.
Someone else talk.
All right, I think
Luke, how about you?
my top 5. 9 Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, Black Sabbath. Incubus, and there's a UK band, and they weren't around for very long, but they were called Dorje.
Oh yeah.
That'd be my lineup.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then about
Nice
50
lineup.
million openers.
50 million openers. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, God, only 5. I've got so many.
Yeah.
You know, no one has ever put themselves on the bill.
Well, yeah, because it just feels like you wanna revel in the music when you're organizing the show. You're like, no, man, you just want to like see stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the limited was, if there was 6 bands, then I'd pick the limited. But
Yeah, there you go. We'd be the 6th. We're the opener. We're like the plus guests, like on the poster.
we're the band that won the competition.
Yeah, that's right. They had an open comp for bands from the local area to open.
We got picked out of the hat.
Exactly. Kitty, what about you? What's your magic 5?
I've gotten stuck at about 3 because so many. But none of them would be even remotely close genre-wise.
That's cool.
It would have to be Nirvana, Against Me.
Oh yeah.
The Dillinger Escape Plan, just because I never ever got to see them live. The lineup of Cradle of Filth from the mid-90s.
Oh yeah, early Cradle of Filth,
Yeah, early Cradle. And Alice in Chains. But
Oh,
like
nice.
original lineup, not their current singer. He's
Yeah.
fine. but you know, I like the OG.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
fair.
I'll tell you mine.
Hit us, Landon. Wait, hit us, Landon. Hit us with your 5, bud.
Oh yeah,
It's hard because you guys have taken like really good ones, and I probably would have said a couple of the same ones, but now I'm changing them because I just don't want to double up.
Just for variety.
I like Bowie,
Mm.
Queen. I mean the Beatles, because if we have this magical choice to
Yeah.
just pick a band,
That's fair.
why not, right? Dead Kennedys.
Oh yeah.
That'd
With
be excellent.
with Jello or with the new guy.
Oh, it's
Jello.
like classic.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One more. Who else would I pick? Yeah, it's a limited. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's play with the Beatles. There we go.
Finally.
Put us on the bill. Alas, put us on the bill.
Excellent. I
Yeah,
choose.
Maddie,
I do the Angels,
Nice.
which I've
Oh,
seen
nice.
a million times. The Divinals,
Yes.
Radiators. Leonard Skinner would be the headliner,
Oh, excellent.
and
Yes.
probably Zappa underneath Skinner.
Wow. I do like how
Nice.
eclectic that is. That's an admirably eclectic grouping. That's great.
It
I
just
like
be a,
it. That's good.
yeah, it'd be a great fucking gig. I'd actually be a groupie and travel the whole of Australia just to watch it.
It's funny when everyone else is talking and doing theirs, you suddenly think like, fuck, there's like 400 other
yeah.
people I should have put on my stupid list. Like, how did I not say
Yeah.
Johnny Cash? I would love to have seen
Oh,
Johnny Cash.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
would have been fucking unreal to see that.
I saw
Like,
Johnny Cash
oh
in
God, did you?
in '83. It was BB King,
Oh,
Johnny Cash,
Nice.
and the opening band was U2. So
Jesus!
it was U2, BB King, and Johnny Cash, and
Wow.
that was
I mean,
in
you-
Penn State.
you
But it
had me
wasn't
at
that bad.
BB King and Johnny Cash. That's
So it started shit with you too, but then it got really good.
then it got really good. Yeah, like I'm
BB
not a big
King and
YouTube
Johnny
guy,
Cash.
but fucking BB King and Johnny Cash.
U2 were rough. They were, I swear to God, all it was, they were standing there and they had a white screen behind them showing pictures of flowers and forests, and they didn't interact with the crowd.
Mm.
And I was like on the nod. No shit,
Yeah.
I was on the through U2, and then when BB King came on, it was just like a burst of power. Like I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
really similar experience when I went and saw Green Day at the Olympic Park, and it was My Chemical Romance and Jimmy Eat World that opened for them. And Jimmy Eat World were one of the most boring live bands that I've ever seen. They were like, hi, we're Jimmy Eat World. Here is this song, play song. Here is this next song, play song. And I'm like, talk to us, do something, get us to be excited. And I just like could not have been more bored. So
Yeah.
there you go. It sounds like they took a
That's
page out of YouTube's book.
That's like '88. I saw the Ramones, and I think they played. It was the Space Juniors were the first band,
Yeah.
and then the Ramones, and the Ramones were. What did he want? What did he want? And then they said, "So how you guys going? What did he want?" And it was like. I think they played about 28 songs in 30 minutes or something.
That
It
sounds
was
about right. Yeah.
yeah, it was
Oh,
funny.
man, that would have been fun.
That's always, but being in a punk band, that's always hilarious to me. Because again, going back to we were the only punk band in a metal lineup, they get through maybe 5-6 songs because they're only 5 minutes. Yeah, they're like 5-6 minutes long. We're just like 18 songs. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. I think that was one of our reviews. I think when we did the Great Club show, the reviewer who did the show was like, they blistered through 18 songs in 50 minutes. Nobody does that. We're like, cool. Like, thank you. We'll take it.
My producer just told me that Red Hot Chili Peppers did not engage in the crowd at all with
Really?
in their last gig. He said they did not. It was just a song, then probably Flea doing a bit of a bass solo or something, but they did not engage in the crowd at all.
Interesting. That's really different from when I saw them like a couple of years ago, because they were really like, they were chatty. They did like a jam session thing, like they did like a whole building a song, and they were like really interactive. So I wonder, maybe bands just have off days, and it's like you had a bad time seeing the band that one time, and then of course your experience is colored from that point forward. But I wonder if it was just a situation of like they had a shit night, one of them was kind of sick or something like that. Maybe that was the same with Jimmy Eat World. Maybe I should cut them some slack.
No.
Yeah, don't write them off yet.
Don't write. Oh God, get out of here.
Last time I saw the Chili Peppers was at the Big Day Out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it was actually fucking amazing because they were playing the other side, and as they were playing, the sun was setting, it was leaving, going down behind the stage, and it was starting to get dark, and it was like, fuck, I really love this band. And yeah.
We had a moment like that. Luke and I went to Good Things Festival at the end of 2019 when Bad Religion were up top there on the bill, and they started playing Los Angeles is Burning as like a big plume of smoke from the bushfires like covered the sun and made the sun all red, and they were like, you got the sun for it, and just started playing Los Angeles is Burning, and it really kind of created this vibe of like you could smell all the bushfire smoke on the air, and like the sun was really sinister. I was like, oh, this is a very cool setting for like the end of the world and hearing my favorite band play. Like
they really went all out with the stage setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They just paid off a couple guys to burn some stuff behind the stage.
Oh,
I don't remember that. I remember Greg Graffin being obsessed with that chip on a stick truck.
Yeah, he was just like, what is this? Have you seen this chip on a stick? It's just a big potato on a stick. That's great.
I love them. It's fucking fantastic, man.
Oh, man.
Especially chicken salt.
Yeah,
Yeah, fucking
absolutely.
it's such a winning business idea. Like it's just one potato, and they even like in some places they get you to season it yourself. So,
Yeah.
like, you're doing the job for them.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Have you ever had that moment where you've gone, fuck this, playing music is not for me? Even if it's just a fleeting thought.
I think.
Well, I think
know
like
that-
Kitty and I could take that one because like I had a gap of like 8 years where I wasn't playing anything at all. Like in
Okay.
between my early bands and then just nothing. And then Jordan was just like, hey, do you play drums? Do you want to play in a punk band? I'm like, you know what? Fucking A. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I was in a band that ended very badly and decided, no, that's it. That was my last band. That went so horribly sideways and awful that I don't ever want to put myself through that ever again. And then like Luke kind of asked me to join the Limited, and I was like, nah, I'm not being in a band again. I'm not doing it.
Ask me tomorrow.
Ask me tomorrow, yeah.
And then like 2 years later he asked me again, and I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I miss doing music with people.
So,
Is that the trick? You just have to ask you twice.
Twice, but
Yeah.
2 years apart. It has to have a gap of several years.
No,
All right. Well, let's start that. Kitty, can we have $1 million?
if we can find someone to give it to us, hell yeah.
or you can just collect your 0.05 of a cent on Spotify.
0.005. I think.
0, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kitty, how long you been in bands for?
20 years.
20 years. How
20
was
years.
it? And you were metal at the beginning?
Yeah, my first band was sort of like this goth rock sort of band, and then I did a couple of grunge cover bands, and then I joined a thrash metal band that I was in for a few years, and then another thrash metal band, and then a death metal band, and then I was in sort of this band that sort of fell in the gray area between like hard rock and metal, and the guitarists and I kept trying to push them heavier and heavier and heavier. The singer wasn't interested because she couldn't sing anything other than what she was already doing. And that was the last band I was in, and that was when I was like, I've had enough, I'm not doing it anymore.
So
And
20 years, this is like, this question's probably viable. How was it being a female at the early days in a genre that was mainly male? Because remember back, I'm going back 30 years. There was no clit in the pit. You know what I mean? It was just there wasn't. It was like,
Okay, well, we have to write a song called "Clit in the Pit" now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get Kitty to sing that one.
yeah, look, I'm down for that. It was surreal. Like I was always kind of on the outskirts of everything. Like the boys would always go and make plans to do stuff with the other boys from the other bands, and I was very much only included in things when it was turn up, play your bass, do your bits, and then go away. Until I kind of sort of had to prove that I was just like one of the boys, that I could drink as much as them, if not more, that I could handle being roughed up in a pit without complaining, that I could do everything the boys did and then more. I had to always outdo the boys just to be included. So it was really, really awful. But these days, it's a completely different world. Like people go to the effort to make sure that you're included in stuff and that there are women in other bands. I'm not the token girl on a bill a lot of the time anymore. There might be 2 or 3 of us, but it's not just, oh shit, we need a girl so that other women will turn up to the gig and we can hook up.
Well, you got Tara from the Radio Rejects.
Yeah.
You got the drummer from None for One.
From None for One, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's bands like Private Wives, Bitchcraft, The Hot Mess, The Hot Ness. There's like all these really strong women-fronted bands, or bands that are just all women doing fantastic things musically now. That we've all very much just barged our way into the scene and said, no, this isn't going to be a boys club anymore. You're going to let us in. Or we're going to make our own corner and you'll just have to listen.
That's it. Do you guys play covers?
We only
don't say
play...
Bad Religion. You're going to say Bad Religion, I know.
We actually don't. We don't actually play any Bad Religion covers. We the only 2 covers that we play with any regularity, we play "Damn It" by Blink-182, and we do "Birds" by the Eels. And have played in the past, but we don't play it anymore. "Ha Ha You're Dead," which is a Green Day B-side. From like a while. It was off of their B-side album Shenanigans. I think those are the only covers that we. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think those are the only covers that we played at live shows.
I mean, does the interlude between Public Square and Sydney, where I play a bit of American Jesus, count as a cover?
It does
we go,
not.
David.
That's an
There you go.
Easter egg.
That's an Easter egg. Yeah, you trick everybody into thinking we're going to play that, and then we don't
Hey.
play that. But yeah, no, I think those are the
They
only
have
ones
got
that,
so
like-
many good songs, Bad Religion. So
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They don't. Not a bad one in the mix.
no, there's, and it's good to see like these. Well, Bad Religion, nearly 60-year-old,
Yeah.
just still fuck. Well, I saw Descendants not long ago, and
Oh, God, that'd be great.
2017, I think.
Yeah.
And like these guys are 65, and I'm up the front, and by the second song I'm like,
Yeah.
and this fucking 65-year-old Milo's jumping around the fucking stage like he's a kid, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, I need your lungs, man.
It's like we just saw when I saw Social Distortion, like the lead dude, Mike Ness, I think his name is Mike Ness from Social Distortion. He's 61 and he was thrashing it out. Just
Yeah.
absolutely like moving around, and just like still has the same voice he had when he was like 20. Like it's unreal. Like some of these guys, the lasting power that they have. So like fingers fucking crossed that
Yeah.
that will be
Hey,
even remotely that good.
the Stones are still rocking at nearly 80, so
Too true. Yeah.
Oh, like with covers, sometimes it's like the more you like a band, the less you would want to cover it, because you're like, oh, you do such a good job. I don't want to ruin your song.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah.
I'm happy to ruin Blink songs. Like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries.
Hey,
Like, that's
they
fun.
ruin their own songs. It's like, fuck.
Especially, damn it, like that sort of stuff from that era. That was like the really early stuff when they were
Yeah.
definitely a bit rougher around the edges sound wise.
Yeah.
And so it's a
The
really
album
easy
before
one.
that, I thought was their best, their first album.
I think, what was
what
that?
the fuck?
Cheshire Cat, Dude Ranch, maybe.
Dude, right, yeah.
No.
No,
Yeah.
before that. Before
Cheshire
that,
Cat.
there was.
Cheshire Cat, that's
Well,
the
hang
one. Yeah,
Oh, the Cheshire
shit,
Cat or Buddha.
but yeah, those were the like early.
Yeah. I remember seeing them at the Warp Tour one year, and and they were like between songs, they were just abusing each other. Like, it's,
Yeah,
oh, your mum's on her periods, and he goes, how do you know? And he goes, I tasted it on your dick. I'm like,
Yeah, that sounds like
and it
Blink.
was.
that sounds like Blink. Yeah,
Yeah, and it was just like, my God, what are these? Because it was only the second time I'd seen them, and the first time they weren't that fucking
well,
like
they're
it was
just
like,
like big kids. Like that was sort of the
Yes.
thing, like being like dorky teen kind of
yeah,
that teen rock kind of vibe.
yeah.
Which
And
they did
Travis-
well.
Travis going over to Machine Gun Kelly, like what was that? Like,
I mean, that's because he's always been interested in hip hop. He produces a lot
Yeah.
of hip hop artists.
Fucking
I mean,
oath,
he's a
yep.
killer drummer, and he like
He-
a lot of his
that's what I
drumming
mean.
takes vibe from hip hop drumming, right? Like
yeah,
he uses a lot of that, so like it kind of makes sense almost. But he does a lot of that sort of work, which is always like
Yeah.
it's not usually my speed, but it's really interesting. And I really like that he does like different work like that.
the sun's going down a bit on my
Yeah,
street.
giving you
side.
that giving you that kind of silhouetted look, the smoking man
Yeah.
in the corner of the FBI interview room.
Yeah,
kinda
the
look.
current affair interview look.
Yeah, the current review interview. That's
Where they
right.
put the voice modulator on as like, yeah, I was there.
I'm rushing off for a sec. What's the best bit of advice you guys have been given?
Oh God,
Ooh.
that's a bit of advice. Do we answer while he's gone, or do we wait for him to return? That's
I
the
think
real.
maybe it's a go for it. It's just like
I guess it's a go for it. Yeah, I'm just trying to like move my chair so that it's not like you can't see the screen behind me, because I have
Guys, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm in the background here. I'm
Hey man,
Jack. I think the question was meant to be, if you could give any bands up and coming advice, what would it be?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
If we
thanks,
could give
Jeff.
any
Thank
advice,
you.
yeah, sick. God, I think if we could give advice to people, which if we're in a position to do that, which we're super not because we're just children, but I think it would just be don't stop doing the thing that you care about. Find time to do the thing that you care about because it's super
play music.
easy.
Just keep get out there. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
It's super easy to like let your energy get sapped by work and shit and like not do fun stuff. And like you gotta find time no matter what to like play music, have fun, because otherwise you're not going to play and then you're gonna be sad that you didn't take the chance to play. So like that would be it. Find the time and do it. What about you guys? What do you think?
I reckon a big one is like at some point, especially like music scene in Australia, it's still kind of small. You're probably going to play empty or very close to empty venue. It's not empty. You're there. Play for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Play for you. Fuck yeah. That's a better piece of advice than what I said. Play for you. That's very, very
Look,
yeah,
it's not a challenge, but you can come up with a better one.
yeah, I could do better. I'll think while Kitty talks.
Even if you think you're practicing your instruments enough, you are not. Play more.
Yeah, you can always play with yourself some more.
Yeah. And play with yourself in every and all regards, because of course I'm going to be the person to encourage that.
Fucking A. We can all get behind that, Kitty.
Play
You
and
all
face
need
the ball.
Jesus.
And get behind each other. Luke.
I mean, my gut reaction to that question would be don't start a band in your mid-30s because everything hurts and you have to go to work. I think learn as much as you can about, it's not just playing an instrument in a band. I think, especially now where bands these days have to be not only a musician, but also a video producer, a recording engineer, this, that, whatever, a social media personality. Learn as much as you can and kind of have you handle a lot of that sort of stuff because you're going to need it eventually, especially in the days of streaming. And definitely like it's not a bad thing if you have to kick people out as well. Find people that you gel with.
Yeah.
As well, because otherwise you're not going to have fun with it at all.
Otherwise you're making work out of fun.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I think. I think if it becomes a job, then you're over. If it's like turning up, oh yeah, I haven't seen you guys since last time we played. Fucking buy you a beer later, we'll have a chat or something. If it becomes a job, then fuck it.
But also, I think on the topic of what Luke just said, I think is important. Like I've read in a couple of bios, there are some bands who they are best friends and they hang out all the time, and then like that's what they are. And there are some bands where that's not the case, where you are friendly with each other and maybe a couple of members are like really close friends, and you have a really great time when you hang out at band prac or when you do end up hanging out and playing shows and stuff. But you're not best friends, seeing each other all the time. That's fine too. It is okay to not be like the best super friends and like housemates with your band members. Like you can absolutely still have a successful, fun band that you care about and that like and make fun music together. If you're not like you didn't grow up together and like you don't see each other every weekend, like it's fine. You absolutely don't have to be that sort of band. You can very much be like more casual about it. There are bands whose members live in completely different cities, and they like when they record, they have to like send recording like back and forth. Like it's perfectly okay to just
that happened a lot with the lockdown too.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I think for a while, even with Blink, I think two of them lived in LA and one of them lived on the other side of the country. I'm not sure, but like I know with again Bad Religion, but Greg does not live in LA anymore. He lives mostly in Ithaca, where he teaches as a professor, and the others live in different places. And so like eventually, when they're like, we have to do a show or we have to record a record, then they all get together and they do the thing. But like, you can't always live next door to your band members. You can't always
of course
be best friends with everybody. You just find people you get along with and who you like and who doesn't feel like a fucking chore to hang around.
I think
Well,
the
that's
other thing I want to say is definitely have a shared vision of what you want this, of what you want your musical project, band, whatever to be.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise, like, fights are going to break out. Like, and disagreements, and it's just going to be a pain in the neck for everybody. And like, it's not worth it. This is meant to be fun. I mean, it can be a lot of work, don't get me wrong. But, it's meant to be first and foremost like fun, or otherwise what's the point of doing it?
Like the super quick soundbite version of both of yours is have fun and communicate.
Have fun and communicate. God, it sounds like every human interaction ever. Have fun, communicate. Like,
yeah, definitely. You've got to, but if you don't have the communication, you're just not gonna be in that fucking too many beers, Matt.
That's why it's called Have a Drink.
Or not enough.
Or not enough. Yeah.
But no, you've got to actually fucking understand your band members and what their vision is, and you've got to work that in on your vision. This guy just keeps flying past on his electric scooter chair thing.
Squirrel.
Nice.
But it is very, like, communicating with your band members. Like, you can all want different shit, and that is going to lead to not a good band. But if you all have the same vision, and like maybe there's stuff about your band members that annoys you, but is it enough to not do the band anymore, or is it enough to not want to see that person anymore? If the answer to that question is no, then it's not worth replacing them, probably. And just like, probably like have a conversation about like what's annoying you. Like there's a lot of ways to, like, if you have an open road of communication, you're going to have a better creative experience, because you're going to be open to like, hey, I've written this song, and someone's going to go, hey, I think about this for the drum line. And then you kind of create this thing together, rather than just like kind of coming in and going, just play what I fucking tell you to play. Like that's not a super fun way to do everything. So you got to have that kind of open communicative door, and you're going to have a better time socially with the people around you.
Exactly. Jordan.
Yes.
You're married.
Yes.
Do you have offspring?
No, we do not have children. It is something we've been talking about, but it's just like not a thing that's happened. It's one of those classic answers of it just never feels like the right time. Because like monetarily, always thinking at the top of my head. Yeah.
Does any of the band have children?
No, none of us have kids.
No. Okay, so if you did have children, would you let them listen to your music? Would you like?
Yes. Yeah, no question. Absolutely. Like we had Kitty had some friends who came to the Diamond Dogs show who brought like their toddler.
And did he have like earmuffs on? Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah, that kid was rocking out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amazing. Yeah. That kid was rocking out, having a great time. I would never want to deprive my kid of that experience. Obviously, like as a newborn, I'm not gonna bring like a newborn to a show, but like 6 months to a year and above, absolutely, I'd let him listen. Like I don't think it's bad to get kids to listen to heavy music early, or get to listen to political stuff or stuff with swearing. None of that really matters to me. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, I got 8 kids, and they're except one, but she listens to R&B as well. But I got 8 kids, and they're all into R&B. But my 13-year-old daughter is a Dropkick Murphy fan to the
There you go.
max, and
Nice.
Excellent.
and she loves the hard-ons. Like
There you
she
go.
is. She's only 13. She's my little baby. Like she wears my fucking band shirts all the
Cute.
time. Like when she goes out. Like,
So is she
they're
the
big on her.
favorite?
Yeah, she's.
Yeah.
It's almost your due diligence, though, as a parent, to like teach your kids about the music that you like, and then they make
Yeah.
the decision about whether
Yep.
or not they like it. Because you're like, no, I think this thing is cool and important, and I have
Yeah.
stuff that I want to show to you. Because they're like, look, I've gathered all these things that I like, and maybe you'll like those things too. And so,
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course you're gonna want to share it because there's a joy in like sharing
Yeah, exactly.
people that you care about. You know.
Yeah, like I took the kids to the I-98 convoy a few years back. With Hoodoo Gurus
Oh wow, nice.
they were the headliner. It was fucking Veronica's played second, and so I had, first of all, they had this real fucking amazing country band playing first, and I had my son on my shoulders for that one, and then I had my 15-year-old, I think she was 15 back then, on my shoulders for the Veronicas, and I'm thinking, don't listen to it. This is, and then I had my 13-year-old on my shoulders for Hoodoo Gurus, and she was going, television addict, and Dave's going, wrong band. We're not playing the victims. And it was like she was shattered because she loves the victims. That was Dave Faulkner's first band before he started. And it was, yeah, no, she's amazing, man. She first of all heard, we were watching a movie, The Departed, I think, and she first heard the Dropkick Murphys doing that,
Shipping Up to
Off
Boston. Yeah.
And she goes, Dad, I love that song. Find out more about this band. And I said, baby, I've got a couple of CDs you can listen to of them. And it, like, yeah. And if I play punk in front of any of my other children, it's, Dad, we don't need to listen to this shit. Like, so I've got to walk around the house with earphones in.
With earphones on, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm no parent or anything, but I think that just makes it your responsibility to play it louder.
Yeah.
Just be a dad. Really piss off your kids. Turn that right up to 11. You know.
Well,
Spinal Tap 'em.
We've made the decision that when I'm cleaning the house, I'm allowed to have my music blaring.
Nice.
And the others kind of, and it's good because the kids that don't like punk jump in really quickly and help me clean the house.
That is over.
It's a win-win. You either get to listen to punk or they clean up. That's
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's excellent.
Oh, man.
So what's coming up for you guys? Because like I've Googled, I've fucking Spotify'd it, and I can't find any music. You're bringing out something soon or what?
So first we got 3 shows coming up in the next 2 months. So we got 2 shows in March. We got one on the 10th at Mosh Pit. We got one on the 24th at somewhere in St. Peters, whose name completely escapes
Town
me.
and Country.
Thank you, the Town and Country in St. Peters.
Good place.
And then we
Good
have
venue.
one in April, also at Mosh Pit, April 14th. 15th. There you go. 15th. We have
Come on, Jordan, you booked this shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Jesus, I know. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with dates.
the
That's why I didn't do well.
Rockapalooza gig.
I didn't do well in
Imagine him
history because I
turning up
couldn't-
the day before,
Yeah.
like going,
Hey guys.
fuck with me, where's everyone?
Luckily, I put reminders in my phone. I put Google reminders on my phone so that it just goes ping your fucking gigs today, idiot. We have an EP that's on Spotify and on Bandcamp. which is called A Few Short Songs by Angry People or 5 Short Songs by Angry People. I never.
Okay, I'll write that down because I want to hear it. Even
And
though-
Yeah, if you look us up, we've got the little fish
The little fish
skeleton with a
symbol.
gas mask.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you're on our, if you go to our Instagram, the link in our bio is the link tree, and that has all of our access, Spotify, the Bandcamp, the whatever the fucks, everything is in the link tree. But it's a music you should ask about. Do we have anything coming up? Because we are currently in session recording our first album.
Excellent.
Very exciting.
Good.
So we've done a bunch of the instrument tracking, and we still have the vocal sessions to go. So
Because I also do an album review, which is
We'll send it over to you once
different
it's done.
YouTube thing. So
yeah, I'll send a copy.
we got to get together for the album review when you guys are ready, for sure.
For sure. As soon as it's all recorded and mixed and mastered and we're happy with it and we have album art and all that good shit, we'll have that ready. But that is very exciting that we're getting to do that. It's gonna be a big record. we kind of went go big or go home on this. So it'll be a nice surprise for people when it's out.
So much music coming out at the moment. Like Sean just brought out the Brain Dead album, and
Dawn of Brain Dead. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you listen to that Pulling on the Boots?
Of course.
Yeah.
What happened
I
was
listened to the Owen Guns version,
yeah,
and then I listened to the original from Romper Stomper, and it's like, this is just funny now.
Yeah.
The Owen Guns version is just funnier now because it's
much funnier.
I
now,
get the context.
Yeah.
what happened was I do a song of the day, and I put a song on the Aussie Punk site every day. And I couldn't think of a song one day. This is going back 2 years. I couldn't think of a song, so I did the Romper Stomper song, Pulling on the Boots. And this is the first time I met Sean. He goes, "You fucking racist cunt, blah, 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 blah." He did Sean St. Leon shit. And
Classic.
Yeah. Classic Sean.
And then we talked. And I said, no, I wasn't playing it as a racial thing. I was playing it as this is a part of Australia's culture. We do have these fucking scumbag, fucking Nazi punk, fucking skinhead. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, hey, Matt, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to rewrite that song. And fucking he did, and it turned out fucking perfectly. It got number 34 on the Triple Z Top 100.
Nice.
Something like that,
Yeah, pretty sick.
Yeah, it was stoked. And I kind of feel like not pissing in my own pocket, but I kind of feel like I was the one that gave him the idea to
gave him the
to
push
do this.
to do it.
Yeah.
Take the wins where you can, man.
That's another good piece of advice.
He even says, yeah, man, like I wouldn't have even thought of doing a cover of that till you put that up. And because my wife's Aboriginal, so it was like, Sean, like this is at the beginning, it was like, Sean, I'm not racist, fucking my wife's black, my kids are black, fucking.
Well,
It's
now you have
just-
a new version to appreciate instead of the old one.
Yeah,
by horrible
but a
Nazis.
better
Like,
version, so I
a
can
better
listen
version.
to a song that I
Yeah.
really like, but I
and
don't
as a
have
message
to-
you care about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the more we can push those Nazi fucks into the dirt and maybe out to sea, and never have to deal with them again, the more is the better. To be honest, because there's too fucking many. Being a Jewish guy online is like not very fun a lot of the time. And like a very vocal leftist Jew, especially.
Yeah.
And like I get some shit in my mentions and in my inbox and stuff that like not as many as some other more vocal Jews that I'm friends with, but like,
Yeah.
damn, it's nasty out there. And so like the more we can make that socially unacceptable and like shame those people into shutting the fuck up and going away, then more is the better. Like if we can take those songs that they wrote and turn them into anti-racist songs like Sean did, great. If we can just say no dickheads and we're ready to fucking put up fists and get them out of the venue, great. Like I'm all for it.
Yeah. Look,
Wait, back the fuck up. Jordan, you're Jewish?
I'm Jewish. I know. We only have one song that's mostly in Hebrew. Like,
didn't you get that?
Didn't get the memo.
You've only known me for 13 years. Like,
oh God, really? 13 years?
I know. 2010 is when we met.
We're old.
I know.
Wow.
Well, Matthew, thank you for Matt. Sorry, I don't know which you prefer, but thank you for Sean's version of pulling on the boots at least.
Yeah,
whatever part
exactly.
you had a hand in that. That is a
go
constant rotation. Just Owen Gun stuff is constantly on rotation for me.
Absolutely.
I love
Like,
it.
good people, great band. Like, couldn't ask for much else, really.
Yeah, I got them. I bought the Top Novel records. I got the Sketch Method one, and I think it's the I Hate People record, and that's just been on my rotation since Diamond Dogs, to be honest. Like,
he's a cheeky motherfucker, that singer of Sketch Method, man.
Oh, he's so good. I fucking love him, man.
Brilliant. He's brilliant.
I just like the stage presence and everything is fantastic. Just like eyeballing down during a solo. As someone.
They got good energy.
He just had that grin on his face the whole time, and it was so cheeky.
Too right.
What? Yeah, finishing up. Yeah, fucking my kids are hassling me. I told them I'll take them down the beach. Yeah. So, where were we? I forgot where we were. We were talking.
Yeah, we were. I think we were just talking about like
Sketch
what.
Method. Yeah.
Sketch Method. Yeah,
Sketch Method. Yeah.
I and my wife dug them so much. She thought, "Fuck yeah." I am coming inside soon. You close the door. I'm fucking 10 feet away. You've got like 4 steps.
Incredible.
You just need to play some punk music out loud now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, play some drum kicks.
I'm gonna fucking torture the bitch, man.
I feel like this is like a sketch. This is like a bit that ends all of the interviews. It has to be like this. This is like, all right, I have to go. My kids are yelling at me. Like,
yes, and you are totally right there, Jeff. My kids always. Jeff's my producer. My kids always end the interviews. Always. It's like, come on, you promised me. I've like got fucking nearly a full beer of my 5th one today.
I'll take it down to the beach, hang out with the
questions, and then we'll finish it off.
Rock and roll, let's do it.
And now I've got to think of 3 questions. All right. Oh, fuck, it's hard. What's your favorite color?
I'm a forest green man, but I also like orange too. Forest green and orange are probably my 2.
Yeah.
Kitty?
Red.
Yeah. Lando.
Couldn't tell.
As you can see by the color of the hair.
Yeah.
No, probably purple for me.
Nice.
Yes. I got a mohawk. And
oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Been hiding that the whole time. That's excellent.
That's not out for the whole interview. You're hiding the punk credentials under a cap. Like,
way to bury the lead there.
I've had it for 30 years, but I thought with the interviews, I'm just gonna stay the way I am with the hat because I did that on the first. I've done 62 interviews.
Oh God.
Since COVID first happened, so it's 62 interviews and about 10 album reviews. Okay, so we got 2 more colors we need.
No, we got all the colors. We got.
Oh, you got all the colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got them all.
Second last question. What astrology sign are you?
I'm a
Getting into
Scorpio,
the
baby.
Hard-hitting, like
Yeah.
important bits here. Yeah.
Scorpio. I looked this up the other day. I'm apparently a Scorpio Aries rising, or Scorpio
wow.
Aries. So I
Yeah.
don't really understand what a lot of that means, but Scorpio is, I guess, the answer to that question for
Yeah.
the most part.
That explains a lot.
There you go. See, that's someone who understands astrology, going like, "Yeah, okay, I understood what you just said."
Either that,
I'm
or
like,
she's just
I've gotta
trolling
say,
and would have
Scorpio-
said that explains a lot anyway.
true, no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
also a Scorpio. Jordan and I actually have the same
Oh, that
birthday.
explains a
Right,
lot.
we have the same birthday.
Yeah. Only I'm older.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm a Taurus, and according to the Chinese calendar, I'm born under the year of the cow. And
Oh,
due
Year
to
of the
that,
Dragon. Yeah.
I was given the nickname Two Cows for like 6 months from my old housemate.
2 cows. Oh, we're bringing it back.
We're
We're
bringing
bringing
that
back
back.
2 cows.
No, you're
Yeah.
not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're about to see
Fucking-
guitarist quit on air if you bring that back.
Oh my god, 2 cows is so good.
We
Chinese.
can call him Moo Moo.
Moo moo.
I hate it.
Fuck a lot
I'm
of yous.
dog.
Oh shit.
I'm a dog in Chinese horoscope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
I
it.
got the good one. I got Dragon. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Dragon.
Yeah, fuck up, Jordan.
What about you, Landon? Star sign.
Leo, and a horse.
Oh, you got horse. Nice. That's the same as Alex. Alex is also a horse.
Well, I'm Sagittarian, so I'm half horse, half fucking. Oh no, we're talking about Chinese there. But in normal, I'm half man, half horse.
Half man, half horse.
Yeah. I think
All right. What's your
that's
last
Sagittarian.
question? What's your final hard hitting, really get to the meat of it question?
Oh, look, give him credit. He's done all the interview questions. Now he's just throwing fluff at us.
Now
like,
it's fluff. Yeah, now it's the
Yeah.
fluff.
Okay, so do you all have day jobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you
I'll
want me
let
to
you
go?
go.
Yeah, I'll let you finish. Okay. I'm an edit assistant, a video editor. I edit
Oh,
stuff
magic.
for TV, mostly for documentaries, observational documentaries for TV. That's mostly what I do for my day job. Yeah.
That's it, Jeff. I've got a new editor. He's gonna abuse me for that. I'm only joking. Yeah. So, okay.
But you guys,
With having a day job, would you guys be able to go do an overseas? He can have my job. That's what he said.
so in terms of an overseas tour, I work contract to contract, very similar to Landon. Landon's in the same industry as me and does editing and cinematography for his day job. And so we work contract to contract. So I would very much just be like, I'm not taking contracts for that period. Or like just take the time off work because I don't care. It's contract work.
Like technically the contract would be a gig tour. Like
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
What about you, Kitty and Luke? Yeah.
Well, I have a day job doing production music, so I just have to put in like, a leave application for my annual leave.
It's so
boss,
funny.
like-
I pictured you as a chef, Kitty.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay. No, it's not quite my skill set. I've been in production music for 5 years now, and before that
Oh,
I
good
did
on you.
12 years as a paralegal.
That's right.
I
I
mean,
forgot
like,
you were a
picking all of
paralegal.
those different songs, you're still like catering to people's tastes.
Yeah, she's a music chef. There you go.
So, have you got any songs about your day job?
Oh God, not a single one.
No.
No, we don't talk about our day jobs. I talk about things that make me angry. And like I'm get mad at my day job, like anyone gets mad at their day job.
Yeah.
But
I've got
For
a
the
good
most part,
job. I set up festivals.
nice.
I do all the
Nice.
marquees and all that shit. So my
Okay.
job's great.
Luke, what about you?
Yours
bud?
and I
I
did the
am-
big day out for 20 years.
I am
Oh,
the only
nice.
one not working in TV and media, despite spending 47 grand to be able to do that. I work as a contract cleaner. And as far as
Look,
being
arguably
able
a
to
more
go
important job.
overseas,
Arguably much more important. Yeah.
oh, look,
Do
it's
you
saved
ever
by
get
us
to
during
clean up
COVID,
murder
so
scenes?
you know, was that?
Do you ever get to clean up murder scenes?
No,
I think there's a
No,
special.
when-
I think that's
it may as
That
well
dream
be. I work for
too.
Department of Housing, so you know.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah,
That'd be a
yeah,
disgusting job.
yeah.
Oh, I stood on
the
a couple of
stories I could
needles.
tell.
That's all right. I got big boobs.
Yeah.
As far as going overseas, like I don't care. I'm there for the appearance fees, so I'm just like, no, I'm overseas, guys. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back.
I-
Don't have a job anymore. Okay.
I think
Is
the-
that
oh,
is that what you want to do? Is that in the going overseas?
oh God, yeah.
I'd love
Jesus.
to.
Yeah.
I actually when my wife and I went on our honeymoon to Japan, we
Oh.
made friends with a couple of punk bands. We went to an underground punk show as like when we were in Tokyo, and we made friends with a couple of the bands, and I've kept up those relationships so that if we eventually like line it up, we could do a show with those bands. Like there's already some established bands that have an audience, and we could be like, hey, we'd love to come overseas and play with you and do like a couple of
Yeah.
different towns
Yeah,
if we
man.
could.
I think in that part of the world, Japan's love their punk, man. Japan loves their punk.
Oh, yeah.
They're like right into their punk.
They
It's a
also
big
like
thing.
are bigger than we are, like Western countries like Australia and the US. They're better at putting like bands in like making the new bands become famous much
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
with much more
Well,
regularity.
I'm sorry,
where-
but I think that's how Rancid got famous, was their gigs in Japan.
In Japan, that's right, and,
Mm.
like Bad Religion pretty much relied on European touring, like outside of home country, like Europe and Asia is very much like pretty like where we would probably do well. You know, so that's definitely on the cards.
Yeah.
And also, like, if Jordan and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, but like we would have loved to play the Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not really doing that, but there's a spiritual successor to that coming out. The what's it called? It's like When We Were Young, something like that. There's always gonna be another festival, I'm sure. Something that's
I
like
wonder why they stopped
Yeah.
the Warped Tour.
I think it was something with the organizers. There was like a fight with the organizers or something like that, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, and I could be completely wrong, but I
I mean,
think
it could have
was-
also been COVID. I think the last one was 2019, so
could be.
Yeah, there you
it
go.
would be very hard to do a Warped Tour in 2020.
Yeah, for sure.
I went to this gig, I think it was 92, called Alternative Nation. And this is
Nice.
going back to having so many genres on the same bill. It was Lou Reed, L7, Rollins did a
shit.
spoken word plus the Rollins band. Jello Biafra did a spoken word. Tool. It was a whole weekend.
What
It
the
was
fuck?
the whole weekend.
That sounds
Japan,
amazing.
It was fucking amazing, man. And that was when L7 played and someone threw something up on the stage and she pulled out a tampon and threw it into the crowd and said, well, fuck you, you know, you want to throw shit? I'm going to throw shit.
That is amazing.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I think you can actually
Fucking-
put it on YouTube and you can actually see the situation.
Fuck
It was
yeah.
like she kept getting shit thrown up and she goes, no, fuck you. And yeah,
Hell
dug
yeah.
deep. Boom, here we go.
Dug deep.
Yeah, don't piss me off. I'm on me rags. Fuck. Leave, you know.
Fuck off.
Stop
Yeah.
throwing your shit. Yeah.
There's nothing quite as disdainful as throwing your tampon at somebody.
Yeah,
That's
a little
delightfully
crazy.
disdainful for whoever was doing shit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, you guys have been so good. Thank you so much for this interview.
Of course,
Get on
thank you
to
so
me
much.
when the album's ready to come out and we'll do an album review.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. I can't remember the other two guys' names.
Landon
Luke
and
and
Luke.
Landon.
Okay, cool.
Have fun down at the beach.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
have fun down at the beach with your kids and your beer.
Yeah. Ah, fuck. I don't want to do it, man. I really don't want to do it because it's only 15 minutes away, but oh, here comes my neighbour. Oh, is he going to use tobacco?
All right, mate. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's
we'll see
been
you
great.
next time.
Thank you, guys. I hope it was up to your standards.
It was great. It was a great chat.
I try to make it fun, Naz.
It was very
No,
good.
appreciate it.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. Jeff.
You sure he's loud?